Hello everybody, I am Ultimate and today I will not be wasting any precious seconds of your time. I've got a lot of information to disclose and I will be trying to do it in as clear manner as possible. So, this video is all about Warzone Ultimate Series. So, I have been manager of this series since April. And in the meantime, a lot of events went by and I have been producing a lot of video material. So, in order to find my series, you need to go to one particular site. So listen carefully. waizone.com. Here we go. This is our site. This is the site which hosts the game Warzone. This is a very interesting game and I made a lot of video material on it. And if you join this game, you will probably find a lot of material yourself, how to learn to play very quickly and very well. And in the meantime, this is not about how to play. I guess I'll make the necessary material later, but right now we are going to forum. And in our forum there's a place called General. Here we are, almost here. Okay, Warzone Ultimate Series. So if you see person called Pagok, this guy, this dude who looks like this, he has got pretty stats, he likes poetry apparently. This is me. And I am the manager of this series. So, of course, there's a lot of reading to do, and I will be trying to go through this as quickly as possible because I realize some of my viewers might not be interested in long reads. I guess they just want to get into action. So, I will give to you a very compacted information, and it will be all what is necessary to understand what this series is about. So, I have been playing Warzone for a very long time. I have acquired a lot of skills and I am a pretty skilled player. So I am certainly qualified enough to make strategic and fair games. And I realized that in the last couple months and even maybe a couple years prior to that, a lot of templates on Warzone.com, they revolve around some very similar ideas and there's a lot of stagnation in the strategic community of this particular game. So I realized, like I remember how I myself was a beginner and probably maybe a lot of players right now, we are starting the game and sometimes we really like to find experience of discovering new stuff, like discovering new settings, new combinations, new feelings, new sensations, new ways to play the game. And Warzone.com in particular was kind of lacking it because the strategic community of this game it latched to a couple very particular ideas, particular ways how settings should be made, particular maps and so on. So I realized that perhaps in order to increase the levels of fun which community can enjoy, I decided that I will be making a new series and this series will be based around exotic settings, around exotic templates, and they will be based around the people going into unknown territory and making their own strategies on the fly and managing to go like into deep woods and still managing to go out and scratch. So this series begins with 5 tournaments. We have 4 seasons and every single season we have 5 new tournaments started, and in each tournament will be unique maps, unique templates, unique settings and unique ways to win your game. And these particular templates will be very professionally play tested by me and I personally assure you that they are fair and they are strategic. And in those particular tournaments there will be 20 spots, 20 people come in, and there will be 19 games in total, 2 games at a time, and each particular game will have 4 days boot time. Respected vacations will be enabled, so basically if you are short on time, you will be able to take up to 10 days of vacation, during which you can do whatever you want. And basically, there will be some very particular settings on, which I believe are very strategic and just fun to have all the time. But overall, a lot of settings will be just played around, some settings will be on, some settings will be off. And with a particular template, like with any particular game, I have put a lot of thoughts how to make a unique combination, a combination which has never seen before. So there's going to be a lot of unique experiences, unique fun and unique ways to play the game. So the first phase is the tournament. So if you perform very well in the tournaments, you get a ticket to participate in the second phase, So the second phase is where you get to fight some of the most elite Warzone players. I myself have got some of reach with the strategic community, so I managed it myself to find some of the best players on Warzone. And if you manage to get into the second phase, you will be getting into some top high tier games, and each game will be played on a different template versus a different player. So 10 games, 10 different settings for you to adapt to. And of course those settings are more mainstream. So if you manage to pass second phase, it means you are not only capable to well understand new settings because you proved that in the first phase in your first tournament, but you are also capable to deal with the normal regular settings of the elite community. So once you prove that, and once you beat at least 40% of your game in the second phase, you will be going into the third phase. So third phase is a more simplistic, shorter, it's only 5 games, and those 5 games are team game based. So you will get yourself some of the best team players in Warzone.com, some of the most elite players, and together with them, you will try your best to prove that you are elite, I guess, player yourself, or maybe not elite, maybe a player with big mind, with big interest to win your games, and you will try to be team leader, and or at least you will try to be team player. So those 5 team games will not be mostly about whether you win or not, but mostly about whether you can be in a team and you can speak well, and you can speak well to your teammates, whether you can communicate your ideas very well, back and forth, back and forth. So, of course, this is 3 different phases, and the best idea, I guess, the best thing about them is that they all are optional. Every single season we have 5 tournaments, and you can join 5 of them, you can join only 1 of them, you can join as many as you want. And if you get ticket to the second phase, you do not have to go to the second phase. You do not have to go to the third phase. You do what you want to do. It's basically, it's all about your freedom. I allow you a lot of options. And of course, if you show enough skill, you get more options to participate even in more events. But of course, we are all optional. All what you do is up to you. There are no limits. Basically, complete freedom, complete unique settings, and so on. And I also review a lot of games to play. I make review videos. Some of those videos are serious, like I go in very good detail. I make sure that I review very little things in every single game. I go through the games of the players. I comment about every single step which could have been done, all the possible means how you could possibly play it better, and so on. And of course, some other reviews are more simplistic. I just do it like a professional sports commentator and just go like, oh my god, such move here, such move there, oh my god, he made an attack, he made a transfer, he made such a good move, oh my, just such fight, like player A just hit player B defended himself, and so on. Full on 100% energetic commentary. And as you probably can see, I really love this series, and I'm working very hard, very intensively to make sure that these series are the best thing that Warzone.com has ever seen. So, of course, there's a lot to read, so I will make a short tour for you to see for yourself. I mean, what this is all about. So I have already spoken about all the main ideas. So let's have a short tour through the thread. So, first thing you see is of course the main thread. So basically we have at least 50 games played and at least 25 1v1 games played, and you do not get booted very frequently, or in other words, you finish your games and you finish your games within allocated time. For each turn you will get something like 4 days boot time, so if 4 days passes and you don't make your turn, you get booted and your boot percentage goes up. And if you manage to find enough time in your 4 days to make the turn, which is very likely, you are fit and ready for this series. And as you noticed, there are no skill-based requirements. You just play a few games to prove that you are ready to play even more games and not get booted, and you are in. I understand English, of course, a little bit, but other than that, even complete beginners, even complete starters who just began to play today or a few games before, who just decided to play a few 1 versus 1 lottery games that got to the 50 game mark played very quickly, even they can enter. And it's not about the skill. If you go into tournament, you mainly go to have fun. It's not about the skill, it's about the experience, because these series are very inclusive towards all the possible players. So it's very easy to qualify into this series, and here we go. Now, as you're moving forward, you will see the list of active tournaments. So this is our tournament number 1. I probably have reviewed in the past, but I've got settings. You can read them to understand it better. These are our players who have entered the tournament. Of course, you can go into the games themselves. Okay, so you will see the map in all its glory, and if this was legit game, if this game had finished normally, you would see some coach, you would see some history, and you could check the game in itself. But this is one of those games. We have a player, like one of the players, he decided to not commit and he got booted for not making any orders. So don't be like Sir Ayla hard. If you join the series, play them. And don't worry, this is no hard thing. At least it doesn't take much brain power to make your moves, and there are a lot of different ways how you could possibly play in this series. So these are the tournaments. There's some data showcased below, like what are the landmark settings, when the tournament was made, when it began, and what's its status. Of course, right now I've been making a lot of video content, so some of this information might be a little bit out of date, but as days move on, probably this will get updated and this will be up to par of high quality standard. Like everything that you see is really 100% representative of current situation. Right now the information might be a little bit off, but still more or less it's at least somewhat accurate. So if you're moving forward, you will see a list of all the participating players. So let's see the skill levels. So this is Viking 007, very active participant. So he's a pretty average player, has got 29% win rate. So getting that win rate is not that hard. I guess another participating player could be Weibull guy. As you can see, the win rates are not impressive, perhaps, and as you can see, right now there are a lot of different players. A lot of them are pretty average skill, but I mean, if you are a total beginner and you are just jumping into the series, it's great. It means it won't be very difficult for you to perhaps win some games, and you will be in maximum opportunities to win something and get the joy of defeating some players. And of course, we even got some skilled players as well. Like, for example, Amerla France has got first place trophy in 3 versus 3 ladder. So we've got some skilled players and we've got some weaker players, but overall they all play in the tournaments which they desire. They all have fun and they all receive nice experience. So overall these series are very well received. So of course some of the people do not join at any tournaments, and the main reason is because the demand to join this particular series is pretty high. Like there are often a lot of people who just want to join, and there's often like a huge list of players who want to participate, and of course there's only places like for 20 players in each tournament, so demand is high. But I mean, I really wanted to give opportunity to as many players to know about the series, and that as many players with the opportunity to experience these great settings and these great tournaments. So it just happens that a couple players might not make it in time to join, but overall, majority of players manage to join in time. So there's also some strict rules enforced, which are pretty simple to understand. If you join a tournament, make your turns in time, don't get booted. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, if you see that you are losing and when you're not going to win, just surrender. That's rule number 2. And if a game is not yet decided, do not surrender on first turn. Like before making picks, before even beginning the game, do not surrender. Play your games just for a little bit, just to see if you can win or cannot. So if you are following all these 3 basic rules, you will avoid most of the suspensions. So basically, the first season was plagued with a lot of shady players, so around half of the people got kicked out. But all those suspensions we have a very good reason. Basically, these players did not play. These players just joined and did nothing. So if you are just going to play in these tournaments, everything is going to be fine and there's nothing for you to worry about. So this particular post is all about reviewed material. So let's count how many games do we have right now reviewed. So 1 game, 5 games, 10 games, 15 games, 20 games, 25 games, and this should be 40 reviewed games. So this is 40 serious game reviews, and if you watch these videos, you will pretty much more or less be prepared to play the game very competitively. I put a lot of effort into these reviews and I put a lot of thought into them. So if you watch the reviews and if you really want to get good in the game quickly, these are a very good way for you to start playing. And this is also a good way to see how our players deal with these particular games. This is a good way to see how the professionals in the second phase play, how the regular players, regular participants play in normal tournaments, and so on. So this is like a treasure trove. There's a lot of educational information how to become good player in Warzone here. Now we extended the rule sets. You can read this, and there's nothing special. Basically, I go into all the very particular details, like to make sure that every single situation is accounted for, and there are no ways for players to play shifty. Like you just play free, you get into game, you play it to the end. And it's not about shady like backroom deals or something. It's about raw skill and raw playing in a tournament or in your games without anything suspicious happening. Like for example, some of the rules. Like if you go into a 10 game run on or second phase, you play all the 10 games, so you do not give up in midway. So these rules are more or less simple stuff, and if you've got the time, you could read them. But even if you do not read the rules, you just, if you are going to play fairly, most players do not even violate these rules, like there's nothing to fear about. If you are intending to play all the games, and if you are intending to just play them and do not do any shady stuff, everything will be fine. And if you do get into a situation where you have done something wrong, at least for the first time I will give you a warning, so I will try to discuss to you the situation, and it's within my interest to avoid suspending people for unnecessary reasons. It's my interest that people will be well educated, and if you do not know the rules, I will give you an opportunity to learn them. So this is the list of all rule violations, so I guess this is not very interesting, but you could check this games link to see what particularly can give you a tournament suspension and what are the bad behaviors. So if you check these example games, you will quickly learn what particular behavior can get you suspended and what particular behavior is completely fine. Okay, so these are the standings, which players are the best right now, which players have won the most games, which players have got the best win rates, which players have joined the most tournaments. These are the standings in our current tournament. So if you watch this information, you'll be informed about how tournaments are doing, how people are doing in them. So there's a lot of means for you to keep in touch of how the activity in these tournaments is going. So these are global rankings, so this post in particular is about ongoing tournaments, and the second post is about all the tournaments which have ever taken part up to this point. So there's a lot of statistical information for those people of you who like that stuff. Now this is a list of our professionals, so you will meet them if you will qualify to the second phase. So for example, one of them is Mike MC Juggle. He has at one point been ranked number 1 in 1 versus 1 ladder. So at one point Mike has been qualified as the best player on Warzone, or more or less close to that, because 1 versus 1 ladder is one of the most prestigious ladders in the game. So we've got a lot of players like him, like for example Krunks himself has got first place in 1 versus 1 ladder. Now another player like Krunks, okay, I will now scroll down. Like for example, we've got player named Belzebu, so Belzebu himself is first place holder, and a lot of people right here, they are top 10, top 25 players of Warzone, or they are like qualified in a particular gaming mode called the Quick Match, and these players have got very nice ratings, they have got very nice win rates, and they are very professional players. So if you're going to perform very well in first phase, you will go to the second phase, in which you will face some of these best players. Of course, beating them is going to be hard, but even if you lose, people who still qualify to the second phase, they probably will get reviewed. Like if you go into second phase, you will guarantee yourself that I will check your game and I will share some of my knowledge with you, and I will tell you in particular how better you could have played and what could be better decisions for you. So you will get some personal training how to play better in your future games, and it's all for free. It's like if you go to second phase, your reward at the very minimum is at least one of my reviews. So if we go even more down below, This the history of second phase runs. So we are pretty difficult. So one player has gone through this already. He has won one game and lost 9. Another player is going right now through it and he has won 3 games, I believe, and lost 5 currently. Another player has gone through it, he has lost all 10 games, and another player has fully gone through it and he has lost 7 games and won 3. And a 5th player right now is going through it and he has so far lost all 3 of his played games. So overall, second phase is pretty difficult, but it is optional. You do not have to go to it, and even if you go to it, you will at least get a few reviews. So in our case, this is not a complete loss. Even if you get a total beating, you will still get some free reviews. You will still probably get some excitement by playing some professionals, and you will still get a little bit of knowledge by being able to test your skills and by seeing what works against elites and what doesn't. So currently this is all the available information in the first thread, and of course currently this is just one thread, but as you can see we are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 reserved posts. So basically there's a lot of room for even more information, and as this series will keep going on, there will be more and more information being posted, and overall the information available on this tree will just keep expanding further and further ahead. So those are the series, and of course I make new updates whenever anything new is being made. So for example, I made like an update on June 13th. Then I made another update on June 23rd, updates on July 19th, July 21st, and so on. So I make very big announcements and I reveal a lot of interesting information. Like for example, right now second season is going to start very soon. So the dates, like right now, the newest tournament will be made in August 1st on 3 p.m. in London time, and after that there will be 5 new tournaments being made in somewhere around 15 days. So 15 days will pass and there will be a total of 5 tournaments made in that time stamp. And in this particular post it is listed what settings will be used. There's a link to template overview, there's a link to example game, and all the necessary information is listed right here. Even map itself is listed. Like for example, you click a map link and you see yourself how a map looks like. So this is Khan. It will be used as the first tournament map of the second season. So this is the map. Pretty nice looking, I'd say, and it has very unique gameplay, but of course if you want to see that gameplay you have to go to a tournament. So and by the way, going into this tournament is very easy. You just make an account, you just get 50 games or more, and you just make a post down below and you just say, I want to participate in this series. Or you could even send me mail, like for example like this, compose new mail, and you just enter Pak Gok, you find him, and you'll be able to send me mail. Or if you can't find me for some reason, my name is Pak Gok, and you could use this profile link up in the top. And of course I will put this link down in the description below, so you could quickly find my account and you will be able to quickly send me mail. So finding me is easy, and right now is a perfect opportunity for you to join this series and to participate in some new and exciting tournaments. So because there will be probably a lot of players interested in to play in this series, there will be like one reserved spot for each tournament. So you are able to join all 5 tournaments, but it might be very difficult because there's a lot of players interested in joining that. But all the players will get at least one reservation, so you will be able to pick your most favorite tournament out of the 5. You will be able to tell me that you are interested in joining that tournament, and I will add you to the reserved list, and because of that you will be guaranteed to join at least one tournament. So if you want to join fun, if you want to have some great experiences, Warzone Ultimate Series is right now open, and soon there will be some amazing tournaments being made. And of course we are 4 seasons per year. Of course this is just second season, but I intend to make the series last very long. So summer, autumn, winter, spring, we all have got their own seasons, and every season we have 5 tournaments made. So again and again you will have opportunities to join these series, and I guess even if this thread will be like this message or this video becomes old, even 1 year later this information probably will be true. So if you want to update yourself, if you want to see what is the newest news on Warzone Ultimate Series, you just go to this thread as I showcased in the beginning of this video. It's called Warzone Ultimate Series. It can be found on warzone.com, general forums, and it is called Warzone Ultimate Series. It should be somewhere in the first page. So cross around, you check the first page, and you check for the newest updates, you check the latest posts, and there's a lot of interesting information which you could check out, and you could learn even more about the series. But right now, I've already talked about all the main points, and hopefully after watching this video you already are much more educated on what Warzone Ultimate Series are, how they function, and what can you do here. And if you even need more information, you can send me mail on warzone.com, or you can leave a comment down below in this video and I will try to check it. No guarantees that I will reply, because I'm still new to video creation, at least on bitchute.com. But I will try from day to day check this particular video, and I will try to look for potential comments down below, and I will try to reply, and I will try to clarify any questions which you might have in your mind. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. And anyways, thank you for watching, and I wish you to have a beautiful and nice day.